So you're thinking about going natural, or you're thinking about doing the big chop, or just trimming your ends off from time to time. But before you do that, you want to know tips and tricks on how to have healthy, natural, long hair, or healthy, natural hair in general. Well, you came to the right place, and today we are going to be talking about hair porosity and why it is important for you to know your hair porosity as a natural. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is mi.yari, and here on this channel we talk about natural hair. We give natural hair tips, we do natural hair videos, as well as protective style videos, wash and go videos, vlog videos, food videos. We do it all over here. Alright, so if you are interested in natural hair videos and all other things like vlogs and skincare and just a day in my life and being a business owner, go ahead and push that subscribe button. Also push that notification bell so you can get notified every time that I post, and become part of the A1 Day 1 team. You know, you want to be an A1 Day 1, so go ahead and push that subscribe button and push that notification bell. For all of my A1s that's already here, welcome back to the channel. Hey, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so this video is all about hair porosity and why it is important as a naturalist or as a natural person going on this natural journey to know the hair porosity, their hair porosity. So I have my little notes here. Y'all know I can get distracted, so that's my notes. That's where I'll be looking at, glancing at it from time to time. So we are going to get into this video on why you should know your hair porosity. Because why you don't know your hair porosity? And you natural? And you don't know your hair porosity? Girl. Alright, so what is hair porosity? As a natural, you should know what hair porosity is. But if this is your first time being natural, or you're on this natural hair journey, natural always, well, I don't want to say always, but most naturals know their hair porosity, hair type, and all that other stuff. But we'll get into those when we have another video, okay? This video will be in a series, so I will link the series down below. But hair porosity. So basically, hair porosity is basically learning your hair and what your hair can take and what your hair cannot take. And basically what I mean by that is knowing your hair porosity lets you know if you have high porosity hair or low porosity hair or medium porosity hair. And those are the three types of porosities that you have, which is high porosity, low porosity, or medium porosity. The best one to have is medium porosity because you have both of high porosity and low porosity hair. Knowing the porosity of your hair helps you determine how easily it is for water to absorb your hair shaft, as well as how easily products can moisturize your hair. It can be harder for your hair to hold moisture, or it can be easier for your hair to hold moisture, or it can be easy for your hair to have too much moisture to hold on to, as well as water retention. It can be easier for your hair to retain water, it can be hard for your hair to retain water, or it can be too much for your hair to retain too much water. And it is such thing as too much water for your hair. when dealing with high porosity hair, without getting into too much detail, which I will make another separate video on high porosity, low porosity, and medium porosity, this is what high porosity hair shafts look like. So high porosity is basically when too much water or you can have too much water or too much moisture inside your hair, and it holds too much of that moisture, so your hair is falling down, it's looking limp. When you have high porosity happens when you're putting too much heat damage on your hair, too much chemical damage on your hair, or not enough moisture to your hair, which is causing it to be dry and brittle. So basically, high porosity hair deals with over processing the hair. Low porosity hair is when your hair cuticle is closed up really tight to where you can't get moisture in. So when you put water on your hair, water looks like beads. Okay, it's like beads falling off your hair. So this is what a low porosity hair looks like. So when you have low porosity hair, the cuticles are closed tight to where you can't get any moisture into your hair because it's trying to lock in the moisture that you do have into your hair, and you can't retain water to your hair shaft that much. So it looks like water is just sitting on top of your hair. This is what medium porosity hair looks like. And medium porosity hair is a mixture of high porosity and low porosity. And that is the balance to where you want your hair to be. Your hair shaft doesn't retain too much water, but it doesn't retain too little water, as well as it locks in moisture, but it doesn't lock in too much moisture to where it gets your hair limp and draggy. Those are the three types of hair porosity, which is high porosity, low porosity, and medium porosity. Now, in a separate video, I will go more in depth of how high porosity, what is high porosity, how can high porosity happen, what kind of shampoos, conditioners to use with high porosity hair, and what methods can you use with high porosity hair, as well as the same for low porosity. What products are best for low porosity hair, what methods should I use for low porosity hair, and how can I get from my low porosity to medium porosity, and vice versa with and same thing as with medium porosity. The goal is to have your hair as medium porosity, where it's a little bit of high porosity, a little bit of low porosity. So now we're going to talk about different ways to test your hair porosity. So it's different ways to test your hair porosity. So one way that is not the efficient way to test your hair porosity, but you can get a little bit of information about your hair and your water retention of your hair, is basically when you comb your hair in a section, you'll section your hair. So you'll section your hair 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 2 on the sides. So when you brush or comb out your hair gently, whatever residue from that hair shedding that you get from that, you want to get a glass of water, and you want to put that shed of hair, you want to drop that in the water. So you want to see if it floats, sinks, or stays in the middle. So if it floats, that means you have low porosity hair. And that goes back to what I was saying about low porosity hair, is those cuticles are so tight that it won't let moisture in, and that when you have low porosity hair, you go wash your hair, the water floats off of your hair like little beads. It doesn't soak in that water. It doesn't absorb that water. So if your hair floats on top of the glass, you have low porosity hair. Now, if that hair sinks all the way to the bottom, that means you have high porosity hair, which means that your hair soaks up so much water that it takes and absorbs everything that it can into your hair, which can cause your hair to be damaged, and it can cause that limp effect in your hair. So if it sinks down, it's absorbing all the water, which goes to high porosity hair. Now, if it stays in the middle, so it's like in the middle, so it's floating in the water. It's not sinking all the way down, but it's not floating. It's not at the top. It's right there in the middle. That means you have medium porosity hair, which that is the perfect porosity that you would like your hair to be in, because it's not taking in too much moisture, but it's not taking in too little. It's not giving out too little of a moisture. It's not giving out little moisture, if that makes sense. So yes, so that is the water test, porosity test, aka the floating test. If you're a new person starting out and you want to start somewhere and you want to go the easiest route I would say is doing the float test, so you can get a general idea, just getting a general idea of what your hair is like. So number 2 is hair quiz. So the next way to determine your hair porosity is taking a hair quiz. I highly suggest people do hair quizzes instead of doing the floating water method, because the hair quizzes, they get in depth of what your hair is like, and nobody knows your hair better than you. So by you taking a hair quiz, it's asking you, is your hair brittle? Do your hair feel limp sometimes? Is it easier for you to deep conditioner? Does your hair feel dry when you do just a conditioner? Does it feel moisturized when you do deep conditioner? Do you do leave-in conditioner? It asks you specific questions about your hair, and only you know about your hair. So by you taking a hair quiz can also determine what kind of porosity your hair might be. Now, it's not 100% because hair quizzes are still generated by people who have certain types of hair that done their research, hopefully, but you know, it can give you a general idea of what your hair can potentially be, because you actually have to sit down and know your hairs in order to do a hair quiz. Like, oh, okay, yeah, my hair is always dry. Oh, yeah, my hair is always oily, and so forth, so forth. So the next one is observing your hair. So this is the best test I will recommend for you to do, is actually sit down and observe your hair. This one can be a little pricey, because when you're observing your hair, you have to go through many products to actually figure out what your hair likes and what your hair doesn't like. For me, my hair doesn't like conditioner. My hair likes deep conditioner. My hair thrives off of deep conditioning rather than just straight conditioning. So all I do is condition my hair. My hair loves leave-in conditioner. So after I finish, I put in a leave-in conditioner. To compare it to some people, as my little sister, her hair loves conditioner. Her hair doesn't do well with deep conditioner. You can do it, but it does well with just straight conditioner. She doesn't need deep conditioner because it's just too much for her hair. So that's what I mean by observing your hair, going through products, seeing what products work for you, comparing the difference between different products. Hey, my hair loves more carrier oils, butters, than it does lighter oils and lighter products. Or you can be, hey, my hair loves lighter products and lighter oils than it does butters and carrier oils, because that's just too heavy for my hair. So it's all about your hair, observing your hair, observing what your hair likes, what makes your hair dry, what makes your hair moisture, what temperature water is good for your hair, and how your hair feels after it is done. So that is why it's important to learn your hair porosity, know your hair porosity, because your hair porosity is what is going to tell you what your hair loves, what makes your hair healthy, what makes your hair retain moisture, what makes your hair grow, and what gives you your desired length, your desired volume, and what your hair thrives off of. So that is really why it's important to know your porosity, fix your porosity if you want to fix your porosity, but the end goal is to get a medium porosity. So have that medium porosity, but the porosities, the hair porosities, having low porosity hair, high porosity hair, and even medium porosity hair, those hair types are not bad, because every hair type is fixable. Well, every hair porosity is fixable. So you can always jump from a high porosity to a low porosity. You can always jump from a low porosity to a high porosity. And with the medium, you can always jump from a medium porosity to a high porosity or to a low porosity, because your hair is balanced. It's balancing out. So I hope this video helps you guys out a lot about hair porosity and what hair porosity is, and why it is very important for you to know your hair porosity when going through this natural journey. Don't give up. I know it can be a lot of information, but once you learn your hair, to know your hair will love you, your hair will thrive, and I most definitely will reach your hair goals in your natural hair journey. Don't get discouraged. No porosity is bad porosity. No porosity is good porosity. Just know your hair. Do your research. Do your own research, because it is your hair. It is your natural hair, and it is your journey. So do your research about your hair. Do your research about different porosities. And as I said before, I will go into details of the different porosities: high porosity, low porosity, and medium porosity. So make sure you stay tuned. Press that notification bell so you can get notified when those videos come out. And guys, trust me, I have you on this. I've been natural all my life. I'm 24 years old, so I know what I'm doing. My hair has been cut, my hair has been shaved, my hair has been shedding. I had bald spots in my hair's been dry. So I done been through it all. I done it all. I recently did a big chop, so I'll post that in the notification card so you can see my big chop, and so you can see my big chop update. So you're in good hands when you come over here to my channel, Arabia mi.yari. And with that being said, press that notification bell, press that subscribe button, and I will see you beauties in my next video.